Marvel Studios has been making some big strides with its upcoming content, but Marvel is now coming out with a hero that isn't being seen as such. Take a deep breath so you don't go all green. Sabra, the Israeli hero, is said to hit screens in 2024, but is already getting hate. Join us as we talk about just the controversial addition to Captain America World Order. First up, why is Sabra the center of controversy right now? During the D23 Expo event, Marvel revealed many things. In doing so, they announced that the upcoming Captain America New World Order would serve as a debut for Sabra. Played by Shira Haas, Sabra is an Israeli hero. With that said, it's kind of obvious why the announcement wasn't met with a positive reaction at all. If you're unaware of the political and almost criminal issue between Palestine and Israel, then let us give you a little context. Just to explain the outrage, Israel is currently residing in occupied territory that belongs to the Palestinians. Social media is filled with videos of Palestinians being murdered and arrested illegally. So it's not a good idea for Marvel to get into their next phase with a superhero that represents a problematic state. But nothing has ever stopped Marvel from doing so, as they avoid the political stance. Israelis, on the other hand, defend their acts with the notion that the land Palestinians have right now belonged to them thousands of years ago. Not a very powerful stand to take when crimes are being committed. Anywho, now that you've gotten a quick history lesson, let's talk about Sabra's history. Up next, who is Sabra and what will her role be? Apparently, Sabra is a hero from the comics. Yes, they didn't make Sabra up. She was actually called Ruth Bat-Seraph and was created by Bill Mantio and Sal Buscema. Her character was first seen in The Incredible Hulk number 256 in 1981. Marvel has been introducing many mutant characters and properties like that of Doctor Strange and Ms. Marvel, and Sabra is no different. Her powers give her superhuman strength, stamina, speed, durability, and enhanced reflexes and agility. These things aren't rare or new in the fictional world, but she can transfer her life energy to another, helping people heal quicker from an injury or just fatigue. Wish we had someone like that to take our drowsiness away, huh? However, Sabra's interaction with the Hulk in the comic was nothing short of racist, problematic, and just downright evil. That might be why Marvel chose to introduce her in the New World Order. The studio is looking to capture and tackle more difficult ideas as they did in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But this is no simple matter. Getting around this political matter while narrating a compelling story that gives respect to the so-called hero and the country she represents is going to be nearly impossible. Moving on, what's exactly problematic about Sabra? You might wonder. Okay, she represents something that's difficult to digest in the real world, but how is the character directly responsible for the chaos that her country is causing? Well, just the name, just that alone causes great pain and suffering. Confused? Let us elaborate. The word Sabra is used for those who are native-born in Israel. In Arabic, or for the Palestinians, the word is similar to saber, which means a cactus fruit that's widely grown across Palestine. With that, it's also a symbol of perseverance that the Palestinians have shown following the 1948 Nakba. Nakba is when Israelis took over many parts of Palestine and killed citizens. Marvel's greatest and the most insensitive blunder was that they announced the superhero around the 40th anniversary of the Sabra and Shatila massacre. Yes, folks, a massacre. And Sabra is no common name. The hero is literally named after a massacre that took place in Lebanon in 1982. Thousands of Palestinian refugees were murdered. Just a simple Google search and you can read about all the horrors yourself. That pretty much explains the outrage here. It's sad to see all of Marvel's positive PR fade away into the dark. We're referring to their inclusion of Shang-Chi and Ms. Marvel. The Asian representation was a solid 10 out of 10 until now. Following that, what do the Palestinian comic fans have to say? While some fans celebrated the new hero, the majority of them unleashed their anger on the organization, demanding the exclusion of such a character. Others were mad that this character would overshadow the story of the Falcon, who's a black superhero. Palestinian comic fans deemed Sabra as nothing less than pure evil and shushed Marvel for such an inclusion. They stated that with that name, this is a display of blatant racism and whitewashing colonialism. The character operates as an Israeli Israeli intelligence agent for Mossad in the New World Order. Considering that Israeli agents have taken part in illegal assassinations of resistant figures, unarmed civilians, children, and journalists, it's as though they're trying their hardest to make this hero as problematic as they can. Fans called them out for representing the Western bias in favor of Israel, despite the fact that even the comics were racist. Yeah, you heard that right. The Incredible Hulk comic where Sabra is introduced features a figure on the ground, a dead Arab boy. The Arabs are seen as terrorists in the comic, and Marvel issued a statement saying that they'll portray Sabra for the current generation, not the past. But here's the catch. The things that happened in the past are still happening. The 55-year military occupation where 5 million Palestinians live is described as the longest occupation in modern history. No Arab or person of color should have to be seen as a murderer for a white hero to emerge from the ashes of the fire they set. Now, moving on to other related news that might interest you. First up, the MCU fans aren't ready to let go of Steve Rogers yet. Many people want Chris Evans to come back already to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, leaving the studio with a huge problem. He made his debut in 2011 as the first Avenger in the series and then became one of the vital characters. He's made 8 appearances leading the Avengers with his moral compass. His end was bittersweet in Endgame, where he used the Infinity Stones to travel back to the love of his life and grow old with her. He then gave the Captain America shield and mantle to Sam Wilson, making him the new captain. To be frank, making Sam Captain America is probably a bad move. A better one would be to give him his own name and identity. But honestly, Marvel does what they want. Despite the obvious goodbye, fans are still praying and coming up with rumors that Evans might return to the movie. He didn't die like Iron Man, so many suspect that he's working on a secret project, which Chris constantly denies. Marvel hasn't communicated what happens to Chris Evans after Endgame, as we only saw a flashback of him with Peggy dancing in a house. Some MCU projects suggest that he died, but with the whole multiverse concept, fans are keeping Steve Rogers alive and well. Nonetheless, this makes Sam Wilson's entry all the more difficult. Next up, Bucky is missing from the cast. Fans are about to be livid, but Bucky Barnes has been left out of Captain America New World Order. The movie is set to enter production following the positive response to The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There was some information revealed at the D23 Expo, one of them being the inclusion of Joaquin Torres as the Falcon and Samuel Stearns' return to the MCU after his last appearance in 2008's The Incredible Hulk. But there's one obvious omission: dear old Bucky Barnes. While he had a good friendship formed between him and the Falcon and is set to appear in the upcoming Thunderbolts film, it doesn't seem like he'll appear for the New World Order. Leaving him out gives both Bucky and Sam the chance to grow in their own talents and leave some spotlight for Sam Wilson. Although with the controversy around Sabra and a possible Steve comeback, it doesn't seem like that'll happen. Finally, Mark Ruffalo might appear in the New World Order. We're excited to see what the MCU's future holds, because it'll either rise from its problematic ashes or burn down further. Sources have reported that Mark Ruffalo, who plays the Hulk in MCU, is in talks to appear in the New World Order. This would be a wonderful way to bring back the two characters, but Mark's involvement isn't confirmed. The Hulk has one of the darker stories in the MCU, which is communicated through different movies. This has made it difficult to give him one of his own, but his appearances are loved by fans. Although it's important to know that Ruffalo is against the horror that Palestinians have to suffer, so there might be some clash there. But let's see what happens. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of Marvel's new hero, Sabra? Do you agree that she should be removed? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.